Yeah, sure. So Lenmark started around the same time I started my own business. Um, so it's been on open 8 years, and it's kind of built up a really impressive capital stack. So it's backed by a hedge fund as well as a family office today. And really it's grown a lot. And I finally partnered up with the guys there, a little while ago. Um, and really, like, what our kind of advantages are in this space, like, everyone has capital today in the space, but I think our advantages is like kind of a much more professional team that understands the business very well. We've all done transactions directly, and we kind of come from either finance backgrounds or direct private lending, and I have like 16 years of experience doing this, and a lot of the rest of the team has as close to that in experience. It's not like that big of a long term of an industry, so you get to work with kind of like best in class you know folks, and a lot of what we're doing, right now we have like leading pricing on the rentals. So obviously that's a very price specific product. So we're getting a lot of rental loans. But I've always focused on the builders since I got started. Because, for me, like customer acquisition, we get a builder as a client. I don't do the sales anymore. I lead the team, but we get one customer and they come to you sometimes for 10 transactions or sometimes for 800. And it's just, very repeated, very much a relationship based. And I take a lot of pride in like having the same customers from when I very first started in the
Wow,
space.
that's great. That's
Yeah, same people I'm still, talking to on the phone. We text, we figure out transactions together, and I get them with the right, person on my team to get their loans closed. But
I'm curious when it comes to see underwriting in-house, or do they have to deal with a third party person that's somewhere out of state? Like, is that all the underwriting process within your organization, like real time? How does that?
yeah, so the staff is getting pretty close to 90. Um, so we're all in house across the board. So even like on the servicing side, we have a servicing company, we have a processing, like we even brand it separately because we do this for some other lenders. Um, so we've got processing, underwriting, servicing, construction management, where we're releasing the draws. All of that's in house. So all the sales is in house.
So everything's there. So it's easy, kind of a one-stop shop for people to kind of come in and get a chance to, number one, meet you. Like you said, you deal with more people person to person as opposed to that deli example where you just take a number and move on. You build a relationship with people, which is great. Uh,
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. That's what gets me up to go to work, every day. Just more so, like those longer standing people rely on you. You build those relationships, and it's that's I think like there's a lot of like on the economic side, there's a lot of impact. So it's not like we're out loan sharking, charging high rates and fees. Like, when I do a loan for somebody, a title agent gets business, a real estate broker gets business once or twice. Sometimes there's a mortgage broker involved because we're direct capital and not a lot of people find direct capital. So there's usually a mortgage broker. There could be, an insurance agent that's getting paid, an accountant, lawyers. There's a lot of like economic impact before even closing. And then at that time, you've got, painters, drywall guys, roofers, electricians, HVAC, everybody under the sun, concrete companies, everyone's benefiting from, this capital infusion to the market. Uh, and at the end of the day, the homeowner is getting, a nicer house at the end of the day.